Welcome to Lotus Lane Daily. I'm glad you're here. Today's wisdom is for anyone going through something hard. You know that feeling when you are sitting next to the person you love and somehow you have never felt more alone? You ask how their day was and get 3 words back. You try to share something that hurt you and watch their eyes go somewhere else. You bring up the relationship and they go quiet, or change the subject, or tell you that you are too much. And so you learn to ask for less. You learn to keep your needs small and tidy so they do not become a burden. And one night you find yourself searching the internet at 2 a.m., trying to understand why being with someone can feel this lonely. If that is you right now, take a breath. You are not crazy, and you are not asking for too much. Wanting your partner to be emotionally present is the most ordinary, reasonable thing in the world. What emotional unavailability actually looks like. It is rarely dramatic. An emotionally unavailable partner is often kind, often reliable in practical ways, often genuinely good company on the surface. That is what makes it so confusing. They show up for dinner, they remember your birthday. But when you go to the deeper layer, the place where you actually need to be met, you reach for them and find a closed door. They deflect with humor when things get serious. They go cold or distant after a moment of real closeness, as if intimacy itself triggers an alarm. They struggle to say what they feel, or insist they feel nothing at all. They may accuse you of being needy or dramatic when you ask for more. Over time, you start to feel like the only one in the relationship who is doing the emotional work, holding both ends of a rope while they barely touch their side. That imbalance is exhausting, and it is not your imagination. Why you keep trying anyway? Here is the painful part most articles skip. People who love emotionally unavailable partners are often not weak or foolish. They are persistent, hopeful, and very good at loving. You may have caught a glimpse early on of who this person could be, a moment of real tenderness, a night they let their guard down, and ever since you have been trying to get back to that version of them. You are in love with a possibility, and there is often something older underneath it. Many of us grew up around love that had to be earned, around a parent who was warm only sometimes, and we learned that this is what love feels like, working hard for crumbs and calling it a feast. If that is true for you, an emotionally distant partner will not feel like a warning sign. It will feel like home. That is worth sitting with honestly, because it explains why leaving feels so hard even when staying hurts so much. The hard truth you need to hear. You cannot love someone into becoming emotionally available. You cannot be patient enough, understanding enough, or undemanding enough to unlock a person who has decided, consciously or not, to keep their inner life shut. People change only when they want to change, and only when they do the work themselves. This does not mean your partner is a bad person. Emotional unavailability usually comes from old wounds, from a childhood where feelings were unsafe, from a model of manhood or self-protection that taught them closeness equals danger. You can have real compassion for that, but compassion for their history cannot mean you abandon your own needs indefinitely. Both things are true at once. A 13th century letter, written to encourage someone facing a hard situation, puts it this way: wisdom is the ability to see things as they really are, not as we wish them to be, and then to act accordingly. The wishing is the trap. You have a picture of what this relationship could be, and you keep responding to the picture instead of the reality in front of you. Seeing things as they really are is painful, but it is the only ground solid enough to stand on. What you can actually do. Name it plainly, once, without blame. Pick a calm moment and say the real thing. I love you and I feel lonely in this relationship. I need us to be able to talk about feelings and hard things together. Then watch what happens next. Not their words in that moment, but their actions over the following weeks. Do they get curious? Do they ask questions? Do they seek help? Or do they go quiet and wait for you to drop it? Stop over-functioning. If you carry all the emotional weight, your partner never has to feel the gap. Gently stop filling every silence. Stop managing their feelings for them. Stop translating their moods for the rest of your life. Let the space be a little empty and see whether they step toward it. Rebuild your own life outside the relationship. When one relationship is starving you, the instinct is to press harder on that one source. Do the opposite. pour care into friendships, into work that matters to you, into your own inner world. A line from an old set of writings says it simply, "Do not seek happiness from others. Become the sun that illuminates everyone around you with warmth and light." This is not a reason to ask your partner for nothing. It is a reminder that your steadiness should not depend entirely on a person who keeps the lights off. Set a real timeline for yourself. Not an ultimatum you announce, but an honest internal marker. Decide how long you are willing to wait for genuine effort and what genuine effort would actually look like. Vague hope with no endpoint can cost you years. If nothing changes, you may do everything right and still find the door stays shut. That is the outcome no one wants to consider at 2 a.m., but you deserve honesty. If your partner will not even acknowledge the problem, will not try, will not move, then the relationship as it is may not be able to give you what you need to feel loved and known. Choosing to leave such a relationship is not a failure of your love. It is, in its own way, a deep act of self-respect, and over time it can change the whole direction of your life. There is a thought from a Buddhist text worth holding here. A great human revolution in just a single individual will help achieve a change in the destiny of a nation. The smaller, personal version of that is real too. When you change what you are willing to accept, you change everything downstream of it. You are allowed to want more. Whatever you decide, please hold on to this. The loneliness you feel is not proof that you are too much. It is proof that you are reaching for something real, to be seen, to be met, to be loved by someone who is actually there. That is not a flaw. That is the most human thing about you. You have spent a long time making yourself small enough to fit a space that was never quite open. You are allowed to stop doing that. You are allowed to want a love that meets you halfway. And whether that turns out to be with this person or with someone else, the wanting itself is good, and it is right, and it deserves to be honored. That's the wisdom for today. If something here landed for you, share it with one person who might need to hear it too. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow on Lotus Lane Daily.